Hello everyone, my name is Dorothy Diaz and my group is conformed by Diego Rodriguez, Norbey Gonzalez and Oscar David San Juan. We are going to explain the concepts of the Chapter 2 of the financial book International Market. The currency is all those currencies other than those of the country of origin. Its main objective is to facilitate international trade investment. In a globalized world where there are a multitude of countries and monetary systems making transactions, it is common to find companies and states that have different currencies to be able to trade. For example, in Europe, there is a monetary union that is there is the same currency for a group of countries. Currencies are considered as an asset since it's money from other countries and has a value. This value is achieved by quoting or making a fixed value for a state or organization. In the currency markets, currency purchase and sales transactions are carried out every day based on the interest that currency has for a subject. So it is usual for them to fluctuate, that is, to change in value. Like the stock market, interest and disinterest in a currency market it appreciate or depreciate. For example, if we want to trade with China or have investment in the United States, we will have to acquire yuan or dollars, and the volume of purchase and sales determines the value of one currency with respect to another. The International Monetary System established the rules that regulate cross-border monetary flows between different countries. Among its main objectives are guaranteeing freedom of international exchange and preventing monetary imbalance that could affect the credibility of the system. There are 5 times the International Monetary System has gone through. The system based on two metals. Before the 1970s, many countries used a system based on the issuance of metal coins, gold and silver, and the exchange rate was determined by the amount of metal they carry the coins. The second, classic gold standard. During the years 1875 and 1940, gold represented wealth due to its high value, facilitates minor transactions, is durable and difficult to falsify. Periods between wars. With the start of the First World War, several countries such as the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Russia stopped using the exchange of promissory notes in gold and implemented embargoes on gold exports. The fourth, Bretton Woods system. In July of 1944, 44 representatives from different countries made an agreement in Bretton Woods to design a new international monetary system. And the last one is variable rate system. It was ratified by the members of the IMF in January 1975 in the Jamaica Agreements, and it was decided that the flexible exchange rate should be declared acceptable to the members of the IMF. The gold is paid as a reserve asset international, and the least developed countries would have preferences to access IMF funds.
The exchange rate, buyer and seller type. Banks usually quote two exchange rates depending on whether in is a purchase or sold. For example, if usual dollars, for each dollar they pay you 4,162. But instead of selling you back each dollar, it costs him 4,202. In this way, banking institutions and exchange houses obtain or return the true purchase and sale of foreign currency. If a person wants to buy a currency other than the national one, he must determine what the selling exchange rates. On the other hand, if you intend to sell a currency other than the national one, You must add them to the bargain exchange rate. Direct and indirect type. They are united is in national currency that moves delivery and foreign currency. For example, the ratio to obtain the exchange rate will be the ratio of euro-dollar. It should be borne in mind that in the face of decrease in the exchange rate produced by and decrease in the level of domestic price, while keeping foreign price constant, we are talking about depreciation. Or it also occurs where there is an increase in the level of price abroad, maintaining constant the national price level.
Cuisine trader using net to net most transaction, for example, Canadian dollar loni, New Zealand dollar kiwi, Australian dollar AU, Swiss franc Swiss, Singapore dollar Chinese dollar. Indirect exchange rate is the amount of foreign currency to be delivered per on unit of national currency, but in it says the ratio of the relation change invited, which will be the dollar euro.
Cross exchange rates, also known as cross rates. It is the exchange rate between two currencies, and it's called the cross exchange rate because it's not common in the country where the currency pair is quoted. For example, in the United States, a GBP CHF will be considered a cross exchange rate, while in the United Kingdom of Switzerland it will be one the primary currency pair is trade.
Arbitrage with three currents. Arbitration is a financial strategy that is concept of take advantage of price difference between different markets of the same financial asset to obtain an economic benefit, usually without risk. To perform arbitration complementary operation, buy and sell are carried out at the same time and wait for parties to act. Arbitration takes advantage of that divergence and makes a risk-free profit. In other words, the arbitration stands short sale in the market will the highest price and launch buys in the market with the lowest price. The benefits will come given be the difference between both markets.
Operation in the currency market. In the interbank market transaction, there are five types of operation. The first one is called a spot transaction. In a spot transaction, both parties to the agreement set the amount to be exchanged, the price or exchange rate called the spot exchange rate, and the settlement date. The contracting date is called dealing date, and the effective exchange date, spot value date. Between both dates, there must be a period not exceeding 2 days. Settlement is carried out in both countries, and the country where the agreement is adopted is called dealing center. The second is outright forward operation. The amount to be exchanged, the price or exchange rate, and the settlement date, which must be more than 2 days, are set on the date of the agreement of this operation. The third one is called operation with swap options, simultaneous purchase and sales of the same currency at different terms. The delivery dates for the purchase and sales are different, and there are several modalities of forward operations. Outright, the date of deadlines for deliveries of the currency are totally predetermined, for example 2 months. Options: delivery date or terms are open within certain limits, example between 30 and 40 days. And swap: simultaneous spot and forward operation, example, one can buy dollars for euros in cash and at the same time sell the dollar in installments to the same contrasting pair. The first is called operation with options, and the second is operation in the future.